Hello everybody, it's Cindy the Scrapologist. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about junk journals and all kinds of paper crafts. I have a new project here that I just developed that I'm excited to show you, and let me just tell you a little bit about it. I am an avid book reader, and I was seeing a lot of things on Etsy and YouTube about called Blind Date with a Book. And what it is a book that's covered in wrapping with some pretty things on the outside, and there are little hints on the outside. Sorry, super noisy here today. There are little hints on the outside as to what the book is, but you don't know what the book is until you unwrap it. Super fun concept for somebody who really loves to read books like myself, and it must be really fun to open them and get a surprise and see what the book is. However, with journals, they're very personal, and my customers want to see the journal before they purchase it. They want to see the color, they want to see the theme, they want to see whether the paper inside is lined or plain or watercolor paper or writing paper. They want to see the spine, they want to see the thickness. In other words, you get the point. It's not the same. I can't wrap these so that they can't see them and expect people to buy them. Now, I have been trying to come up with gift sets for both the art shows that I'm doing, the in-person events, and also for my website, thescrapologist.com, and for Etsy. Etsy is really big into what they call gift baskets right now, and journals are the perfect gift for somebody because there are so many associated items like pens, bookmarks, and tea bags, chocolates, things like that. So I really liked the concept of the blind date with a book, but I wanted to do my own take on it so that the journal can be seen instead of being all wrapped up. So this is what I came up with, and I am going to do a tutorial after I finish showing you this one. And I want to first talk about this paper that I used. It is a wrapping paper, and full disclosure, they did send this to me free of charge and ask me to do a project with it. However, I always tell people that I am still going to be honest. If I don't like your product, I'm going to say so. But this particular product I love. I'm going to put the link below. It's from a company on Amazon called Ulmassin, Ulmasinn. This is their craft floral wrapping paper. They sell wrapping paper. It's a really good quality, and look how beautiful it is. I have to be honest, I wasn't interested in most of it because it was very holiday, birthday, oriented. It is wrapping paper after all, and I'm not really into holidays. But they had a plain craft, and then they had this craft with this beautiful floral pattern on it. It's very nice quality. It's not tearing on me. And the other thing I love about it, which makes it great for crafting, is it has a grid on the back. So each of the squares is 1 inch, makes it really easy to just take your ruler and your rotary trimmer and go right up and cut a nice straight line. So I'm really happy with this, and I'm actually going to be buying some more. The plain craft paper would also be nice if you take some just black stamps that you have, stamp all over it, and make your own wrapping paper. I think I have a video on that. I usually use this plain butcher paper. However, I think I like this better because this is matte, and you can see the gloss on this. This is butcher paper, so one side is a little bit waxy as well, because it's meant to wrap wrap food in. So I think this is the plain one for making my own wrapping paper with my stamps is going to work out much better. So this is what I used for my wrapping for my little book, and I think it just turned out beautiful. So what we have inside is a bookmark that I just made from a master board. It's fun to have the ribbon on the top because then you have, whoops, something kind of sticking out the top. And what I'm going to do for the other ones that I make, most of the journals that I'm going to put in here are made from old book covers, and I did save the spines. So each, except on this one, the spine was just way too skinny for a bookmark, and it was really torn up and thrashed. But I'm going to be making bookmarks out of these, and so every book will have a bookmark with the spine of that same book. And I'm going to do a video at some point on all about bookmarks. The other thing, I'm just going to pull this out carefully. This isn't what I'm really going to use, but I just wanted to show it. I'm going to put, this is a dried flower. I go foraging every spring, summer, and fall, and dry flowers from the area in which I live in Maine. And so I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby and get some fake flowers and cut them apart and put sprigs. Lyric Lover Crafts has a really good video on doing the blind date with a book version of this. She's always really generous with her tutorials and her information. And she put a sprig of lavender in one of the pockets, and I really thought that was a nice idea. I like pussy willows, so I'm going to get some fake pussy willows and put a sprig in each book. The other thing that I think that goes really well with journals is to put a pen in there. I went and bought, and I'm going to put the links for all of the things I'm talking about below. I bought what you call beadable pens. These are pens that have a rod here that you can put beads on. So you just screw this off, you put your beads on, like I did here, and then you put this back on, and it holds your beads on there. The only thing I can say about this is that it's hard to find beads that have the hole that actually fit this rod. So I just bought beads at Hobby Lobby. A lot of them went to waste. Well, I'll use them for other things, but most of them could not fit on this rod. So I would get the actual beads that go with the beadable pens. The ones I saw at the time, I just didn't really like the beads. They were just too sparkly and froofy for me. But that's what I would do going forward. I have a bunch of paper clips that I'm going to use for this project. I have ones that look like keys. They're in a rose gold. I have ones that look like open books with a little heart. Oops, a little heart on it, which are pretty. They don't go as well on here because of the angle of the pockets, and they don't stand out very well. So I don't know if I'll use those, but I have those, and then I also have some regular hinge clips from Tim Holtz that would look good on the book as well. And then I just put a little die cut here. This is from Simple Stories, and I got the Take Note bits. And they're just a bunch of little items little pens and clipboards and things that I think will go really good with this. I got the one called Ephemera as well, but the elements are way too big for this project, but they're really neat for collaging and putting in your junk journals and decorating. I'm still going to get some use out of these. This little thing here I made, it says, "Fill your paper with the breathings of your heart." It's a quote from William Wordsworth that I love. So I made these little cards. These are available to my Patreon members over on Patreon. Link is below. And I put a brad on it and then just tied the whole thing with baker's twine and put the card on the baker's twine. I get the baker's twine in little packs of 3 right at the dollar store. It's really pretty. The package looks like this, and you get 3 different colors. You can also use just regular baker's twine, but I thought with the craft color here, it needed a little pop of color. So this is I don't know what to call it. It's not a blind date in a book because blind date with a book. I don't know. If you think of a name, let me know in the comments below. I'm still trying to come up with a name for it. But let's make one. You want your paper widthwise to fully cover your book twice. So there's really no need to measure it. You can just fold it over, and I am going to cut a little bit extra just in case, because we can trim as we go along. And this paper is so easy to cut. I just have my quilting ruler, my rotary cutter, and there we go, right down, because it gives us, we already have a nice straight line on there and a grid. So that should be good. Yep. Okay. And then as far as the height of the book is concerned, you want to put your book at the top of the paper. And this is where this differs a lot from blind date with the book. So then you want to figure out where you want, how much of this book you want to show. So I'm just going to put a little crease here, and I'm going to cut my paper on that line. Okay, you can see my paper is creased. This is the 7th time I'm filming this. I don't know if my webcam is failing, but something keeps going wrong, so I'm going to try this again. Okay, here we go. So this is where the process really differs from blind date with a book. What we're going to do is put the book down and have it kind of be in the middle so we can count our squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I cut some off over here. Okay, and then we are going to figure out approximately how high we want this to go. Take our book out, excuse me, and crease this. Okay, then we are going to put the book upside down like this. You can turn it around. Well, no, it has to go this way. Kind of even it up with the top or bottom, whatever you want to call this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this flap here, and we are going to, it's going to be a little hard because I've already creased this. We're going to fold this in like this. And you're going to make sure, I don't think I'm going to get a really nice crease here because I've done this so many times, but you want to make sure that this top edge here is parallel to your line or to the top of your paper, whatever you have going on there. And kind of run your finger along, run your finger along here so that you make a nice crease along the edge of your book, and then you end up with this flap. This flap is going to go over like so. And you want to kind of make sure that that's parallel too. Just keep tweaking and adjusting until it's how you want it. This really should extend over to here, but like I said, I've done this multiple times with the same sheet of paper, so it's not going to be perfect. So then we're going to do the same thing with this end. And at this point you can tape this down, but I like to wait until the whole thing's done so I can make adjustments if I needed. We're going to fold that in. Make sure this is parallel. Give it a slight crease. That looks pretty good. Fold this over and see how that looks. Make your adjustments if you need to before you really, really crease it. And I am happy with this. Okay, at this point, we can tape this. If I can find my tape. We can just put a little piece of tape right there. It's not going to show. Okay, then this gets folded over. So you see how it's parallel to here? That gets folded over. And then this gets folded over. And I'm just adjusting so that it looks nice and even. And then I'm going to take this extra piece here and I'm going to tape that rather than cutting it, because then the cut would show on the front. And I'm not going to do it super, super tight because, like I said, you won't be able to slip the journal in and out. Then I'm just going to push the journal up so I have enough paper down here to just wrap it like a present. Let me turn it over and do that. And you can do washi tape or regular tape. I'm just going to do washi. Although washi is not as sturdy as, no, I'm going to do regular tape. Normally I do this a little neater, but at this point, 7th time having done this, I'm a little tired and frustrated. Okay, so there we have it, and it's loose enough that they can pull the journal, look at it if they want to. I probably could have tightened this up a little bit more, and it was the first time I did it, and all I would have to do is remove this tape right here, and I could tighten it up. But as you can see, I'm getting frustrated. Okay, so I'm really happy with the way this finally turned out. 7th time's a charm. So now I have a bookmark. I don't really have any bookmarks made right now, so I had one from a Stamperia Wonderland kit. So I just, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put this in there. So that looks really pretty sticking out. And then I have a little thing from I think I showed these at the beginning, but like I said, it's the 7th time I'm doing this, so I don't know what I've already said. This little element is from Simple Stories, and it's Take Note Bits. I don't know. It'd be nice if there was one on here that said gratitude, or, you know. Yeah, here's one that says Loving My Life. That's a really good one. That's a super nice one for a gratitude journal. If I can find it. There we go. Loving My Life. That's nice. That can go right across there. And I can clip it on. Let me see if one of these will work. Nah. Loving my life. I like that. I could still put my story there. And we could do just a regular paper clip. My story. Okay. And then some green twine would be nice. About 3.5 times the width of the book, if you like to wrap it multiple times around, which I do. And then I have one of my adorable little cards that I made. Head over to my Patreon if you want yours. They might not be in there at the time that I post this video, but it'll be in there because I actually am coming down with something right now, and I don't know if I'll get it done before I just fade away. I have a sore throat, so, but it'll be in there within the next couple of days, not to worry. And if you're a member, I think if you're a free member too, you get notified when I post things in there. So you'll get a notification. And then let's just pretend that I went to Hobby Lobby and bought some pussy willow and have my flower in there. Oh my gosh. Look! I love this. Why would anybody not want to buy this when they walk by my craft booth and see this, right? These two little gift packs. Alright, I'm going to edit this video down. There was some swearing involved about the 6th time my camera failed. I have to make sure that's not in there. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think I ought to call these things. These not blind date books. Okay, see you later.